Do student loans affect your credit score? Can you still buy a car, a house, or rent an apartment if you have tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt? Those are some questions we're answering for you today. And whether you're looking for answers to those because you would like the latest iPhone or because you're looking to buy a house one day, this is the show for you. Hi, everyone, and thank you again for tuning into Ask Abby. I'm Abby, and this is our live Facebook show where we answer all of your questions about finances. For those of you who were tuned in earlier and were disconnected, I apologize about that. I had some connection issues, but it looks like we've got them fixed now and are up and running, so welcome back. It is a tricky time we live in right now. Along with internet issues, navigating your finances is also so hard. So if you have questions as we go along, please don't hesitate to ask me. Today, we're kicking off our student loan series and saying goodbye to our credit score series for now. If you have questions about your credit scores that I didn't answer in the past few weeks, please don't hesitate to ask. It is definitely not the last time we'll visit that topic, but we are transitioning this week with an awesome question that combines both credit scores and student loans. And the question is, do student loans affect your credit score? If you're asking this question, you're not the only one. And in fact, there are 45 million people in just the US with student loan debt. And all that debt adds up to a whopping $1.6 trillion. That's more debt than people have in their car loans, and that's more debt than people have in credit card debt. So that being said, take a couple minutes to share this post and give me that thumbs up button, especially because if you like our content, you'll see more of it. Other people who this is related to will also see more of our stuff. So it benefits us and it benefits you. Quickly, before we dive in, I just wanted to throw some links out there for you for students and parents wondering why the heck they should even care about their credit scores right now, especially because between having classes to register for, books to buy, an apartment to rent, and then figuring out in between all that how to navigate college in a COVID-19 world, right? So why should you even care about your credit score? Well, I've got that answer for you in this video that I'm going to put in the comment bar right now. I took the time to attempt to convince you why you should care about your credit score. If I'm successful, let me know. If I'm not, let me know and I'll try again. On the other hand, if you're watching this video and you have no idea what a credit score is, you can learn about what it is, how it works, and what factors go into that in this 2-minute video by Basic Finance. Come back after you watch both of those and I'll let you know how your student loans play into all of that. With August right around the corner, you're probably finalizing your financing. And in fact, student loan debt can put you on the fast track for building your credit score, so that's good news. Some other good news is that student loan debt isn't all bad. There's often a negative connotation around debt, but it's not all bad. And in fact, it can put you on the right track. So that's the good news. The bad news is that whether or not you graduate and you use your degree to get a job or not, you still have to pay back your loans. And if you miss payments, your credit can suffer a lot from that. So, do student loans affect your credit? We just answered that. Yes, they do. But like all of the other topics we've discussed in the credit score series, it's dependent upon a multitude of factors, right? There are 5 factors that go into determining your credit score. So if you're curious about that, watch Wednesday's show. I dive a lot into the credit score factors. But this episode, we're going to keep it really simple in answering those questions, and just talk about a few things, a few positive ways that student loans affect your credit score and potentially negative ways that they can do that. If you pay your loan payments on time, your score will be positively influenced. Why? Because payment history accounts for a major portion of your overall credit score. In fact, 35% of your credit score is determined by payment history. So it's a big weighing factor in your overall score. And if you don't have a credit card or a car payment in college, it might be the easiest and potentially the only way for you to start building your credit. So that's payment history. Another way student loans can positively affect your credit score is by your credit history, which means the amount of time you've had credit or accounts that use credit. So it's a winning situation when it comes to credit history and student loans. While you might not want to face it, there's a good chance you'll be paying off your student loans for quite a while. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but the average borrower takes about 20 years to pay off their student loan debt. So that's good news and bad news. We're going to graze right over that and go to the cup half full scenario, which is that you have a long time to increase your credit history with those accounts. Those are some of the ways that that's another way that student loans positively affect your credit score. Another way is that it's your credit mix factor or types of credit. Lenders like to see that you know how to manage multiple different types of credit. So chances are by the time you graduate, you might have a credit card, potentially even a car payment, or be paying your own cell phone bill. And if that's the case, you will have a great credit mix. And if not, then shortly after college, you'll probably be working your way towards some of those bigger steps. And if you play your cards right, you treat those accounts with TLC, and nothing crazy happens that's completely out of your control, like a pandemic that completely halts the economy, you will have a great, healthy start to a credit mix. So now, those are a couple of ways that your student loan debt can positively influence your credit score. Can your student loans negatively impact your credit score? The short answer is yes. And basically, if you do any of the things we talked about above, do them opposite by either having a late payment or potentially even having accounts that are in default, that will negatively impact your score. So, but consider the fact that it could take you 20 years to pay these bad boys off, right? How are lenders going to look at you when you go to purchase a home or a car down the road? So that's a good question. The short answer is that the longer your student accounts are in good standing and have been that way, you're probably in good shape to purchase a house. In fact, first-time home buyers in today's world are often in a better financial state than those who were purchasing a home prior to the student loan crisis. And that's because today's buyers are well-versed in the world of on-time payments and accruing interest over the years. If you have questions, don't be afraid to put them in the comment bar. I am checking that out. So if you have a question, put it in there and I will answer it for you as we go. So here's why student loans could be a barrier if you're looking to purchase a home. So we just talked about it might not be all bad, but if it's a barrier, here's why. You have a higher debt to income ratio, or you might have a harder time saving for a down payment. So your overall credit plays a huge factor into some of these big changes. And during the student loan series, we're going to talk about a lot of ways to build your credit in college, what to do if your credit isn't looking too hot, or if you can't pay back your student loans right now because of COVID or some other contributing circumstance. That's what we're going to talk about in this series. So if you're looking to purchase a home, make a big payment, and you're just stuck, you're not in a good situation, we're going to talk a lot about that. And questions like, is the CARES Act going to help you? And also for those parents out there wondering how Parent Plus loans play into all of this, we have a show for you. We have a show for all of those questions, and we'll answer those and more in this upcoming student loan series. Thank you for tuning in today. That's all I have on this lovely Friday. Please share this video so that all the people with the piece of that $1.6 trillion pie can get started understanding their student loan debt. Make sure to follow our Facebook page, and then you'll get notifications for when we go live, which is every Wednesday at 12:30 Pacific. And sometimes we do these special shows on Friday, so if you opt in to get live notifications for when those happen, you won't miss a show. And then it ensures that you get those notifications. So if you have questions about student loans, whether you're a parent or a student or just curious, please ask them now, and I will answer them in these next 2 weeks. We're either going to have a 2 or 3 week series on student loans. So we've got a lot to talk about. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You can message us directly on Facebook, or you can comment on this post, and you can even email me directly at askabby@creditanddebt.org. So thank you again for tuning in today and watching, and I will see you next week on Ask Abby.